Welcome to the Successfully Simple Show, the overwhelmed freelancer's guide to making more while doing less. I'm your host, Erin Flynn, and I've been running my own freelance business since 2012, making every mistake along the way so that you don't have to. On this podcast, we'll be diving into ways that you can simplify your business, establish clear boundaries with your clients, and minimize your work hours while maximizing your profit and your life. Let's dive in. In today's online entrepreneur world, you are told to hustle. And if you're not hustling, you're doing it wrong. Working until 2 a.m. is a badge of honor because it brings you closer and closer to that elusive and completely arbitrary six-figure income. In this world, there's a constant need to keep adding more and more to your plate. Facebook ads, Instagram stories, funnels, more services, because if you are not hustling, you are not doing it right, and you will never reach six figures, making you the biggest failure that ever failed. This is all complete BS. Running a successful service-based business does not have to be complicated or overwhelming, and you do not have to work nights and weekends to be a successful business owner. In fact, you can work part-time while making a full-time income. You absolutely do not need to do all the things. In fact, doing a few things is better and will make you more money. And as a bonus, it will also save your sanity. You do not have to hit someone else's arbitrary monetary definition of success, although six figures is totally possible without insane hustle. When it comes to creating a business that actually works for you and ends the hustle, there are three key things I want you to remember. The first is that work expands to fill the time available. So whether you have 2 hours or 20 to complete a project, the project will take that long to complete. This is known as Parkinson's Law, and in my experience, it is totally true. So if you set your work hours to all day, literally your work will take all day. That's how you end up working at 2 a.m. and hating your business because all you want to do is curl up and go to sleep. But if your workday ends at 5 p.m., hard stop, you'll get your work done by 5 p.m. The same is true if your day ends at noon, or if your week ends on Friday, or rather Thursday afternoon. Setting boundaries around the time you spend working doesn't limit the amount you get done. It actually makes your work hours more productive and can allow you to get more done in less time. Number two is that you need to get rid of anything that is not working or that's taking up too much time without making enough money to compensate for the time spent. We are constantly being told that we need to do more in our businesses, when in reality, doing less and doing it well is often the answer. When you try to do everything, whether it's offer all the services your clients could possibly want, or try and use every social media platform, or chase every shiny new object the internet tells you to chase, we end up doing nothing very well. And all of this stuff takes up all of our time. We think that if we just master this one new thing, or just update the fonts on our website, or just add something new to our offerings, we'll get where we want to go. But more stuff is just noise. According to the Pareto principle, I think that's how you pronounce it, it's also known as the 80-20 rule. For many events, roughly 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. So what does that mean? That means that 20% of your services is likely resulting in 80% of your revenue. And 20% of your marketing efforts results in 80% of your new leads. And to reverse that, 80% of what you're currently doing is only giving you 20% of your results. Ouch, right? So why not cut out all the extra and focus on what's really working instead? Take a good hard look at everything that you're doing in your business and eliminate anything that's not serving you well. Double down on what actually is working, that 20% that is delivering 80% of the results that you want. Number 3 is that your definition of success is what's important. Somewhere along the way, 6 figures became the definition of success in the online entrepreneur world. And now that number is shifting to 7 figures. And when entrepreneurs don't measure up, they feel like failures. But the truth is, these numbers are completely arbitrary. They're what someone else decided should be the goal for everyone with an online business. And it's true, for some people, those numbers do make sense. That is what they need to be making for their desired lifestyle. But for a lot of people, they're just big numbers that make them feel like they're failing when that's not even close to the truth. There are really 2 important things here. The first being your numbers are what you need to hit, not someone else's. And I mean your real numbers based on supporting the life you want to live, not some imaginary Instagram life shown to you by gurus on the internet that does not actually exist for anyone. You have to determine how much money you actually need to make based on your real life expenses and the kind of life you want to live. Now, for most of us, we're looking to pay our bills, live comfortably, get some travel in each year, and not spend our days glued to our computers. That may or may not cost 6 figures in your world, but the important thing is that you figure out what it actually does cost and base your income goals around that real number, one that you have actually sat down and figured out based on your real life. The second thing to remember is that there's more to life than money. If your only goal is to Scrooge McDuck a pile of cash, then you'll probably never be happy. The money you make will never be enough because the pile of money can always be bigger. Instead, you need to focus on what your successful life actually looks like. Does it mean more time to spend with family and friends? Does it mean being able to stay home with your kids instead of returning to a soul-sucking cubicle where 80% of your take-home pay goes to the cost of daycare? Does it mean you have the freedom to travel the world and not have your computer as your constant companion? Does it mean living in a great location, skiing in the morning, and then working a few hours each day, like my life? A successful life looks different for everyone, but we're sold a specific version of success in the online world that most of us don't even actually want. But if we're not clear on what we do want, if we don't define it for ourselves, then we will never feel successful. Too long, didn't listen? Hustling constantly is BS. There is absolutely no need to work as much as most freelancers do. Instead, limit your work hours and you can get the same amount done in less time. Stop doing all of the things. Most of it is just busy work anyhow that is not contributing to your bottom line. Evaluate your business to find where you're wasting time and eliminate those time wasters. Focus on what is working. And create your own definition of success. Stop listening to everyone else and focus on your own business and your life. Thanks so much for tuning in. Any links mentioned in this episode will be included in the show notes. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, please do me a favor and subscribe on whatever platform you like to listen to podcasts on. And if you really enjoyed the show, please leave me a review because it helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. Now go take action.